Welcome back to the Quick Save Podcast. My name's Josh.
I'm Alex.
We're back. It's been a long, hard road, and it is the beginning of 2023.
Crazy.
We're getting back into it here with some good old news. Man, you remember that word news? Been so long.
It's been months.
3 months? Yeah.
Yeah, 3 months.
3 months of no news.
Really, if you want to get down to it, it's really been closer to 4.
Good thing nothing happened in that time frame that we would have the ability to talk about. No, but we wanted to get back into it. Obviously, like I just mentioned, it's been 3 months since we did some news. So we want to get back into it, talk about news, talk about some stuff that we've been playing. You know, since it's our first news episode we've had since the end of last year, or season 1 as we're kind of neatly tying it up and wrapping it in a bow, calling it season 1. We figure we should get the month and really the year started off with something we haven't done in a while, so some news. But I think, Alex, you wanted to talk a little bit more about kind of the future of the show, right? The podcast.
Here's my official Facebook statement.
Yeah, this is on
news
the
press
on the
release.
masthead. If we had a website, we would read this at the top of the website.
Chicago editorial, whatever.
Associated Press.
Associated Press. No. Real talk, though. We're committed 100% into this. This is something that we do for fun. It's not something
we do it for the love of the game.
Yeah, we're doing it for us and for hopefully some other people that might enjoy what we talk about. That's kind of the end goal. This is more of a thing that we wanted to do from the start as a way for us to just come together, have a few laughs, talk about some crazy things and games that we liked. That's what it was. But we want to do more. We want to upgrade. We want to evolve. You know, we're committed to making new things, to bettering ourselves and bettering the show.
Yeah, if the show is just the same thing for 9 million years, who would listen? Nobody.
Yeah.
It's got to change a little bit, you know?
So, we hope that we can, implement some video, both gameplay footage and footage of us. Whoa.
Digital presence upgraded.
Man. Kind of a scary thought, just uploading your face to the internet and just hoping people like how you look, what your face looks like.
As if the United States government doesn't already have all that on file anyways.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm sure MI6 over in the UK probably has my picture somewhere too. Went over there for some fun.
Oh, okay, you went over there. I was
Yeah.
like, what would they possibly have information on you for?
Just some random US citizen.
All right, we're keeping close tabs on this one.
This is hopefully something we want to implement in the near future.
Yeah,
Obviously,
rolling
this
out
episode
in the coming
won't have
months.
it.
Yeah.
Josh and I really just want to put it out there that thank you for listening to us. Thank you for supporting our passion and listening.
Yeah, I mean every person who listens is, amazing, and we're so grateful for that. And yeah, thank you for supporting our passions, right? And
every like, every subscriber, every comment. I mean, we watch all that stuff really closely.
yeah.
Because, we do want to grow. We want to be, I want to say famous, but, just, a well-known,
have an established
well-known
presence. Podcast. Yeah, and just be in the space, right?
JK, Joe Rogan, we're coming for you.
Wow. All right. Jeez, setting our sights extremely high. Not even like low balling at all. Just straight for like top of the list.
I mean, you go for the sun and hope your wax wings don't melt, Icarus and all.
Sorry, that was the analogy. He died, right? That was the whole story. It was he went for the sun and his wings melted and he died. We should be like Daedalus and maybe hang back a little bit, test the waters.
I mean,
do you want to die in a blaze of glory? That's this podcast.
Look,
I'm learning a lot about your
all
views on our show.
All right. Icarus went down and he
Died.
smiled the entire way he fell because he wanted to see what was up in the sky. He wanted to reach the sun. That's the whole point. And even in his failure, he accomplished. And that's really what Icarus is about, is accomplishment, whether you fail or you don't.
And then he died.
All right, we're going to
he died also. Just want to throw that in about the myth. He died at the end.
Anyways, let's talk about some news.
Yeah, let's talk about the Game Awards, which happened last month, December 8th. And, there's more than a couple surprising moments. Here are the winners.
Yeah, like Icarus falling.
All right, calm down. You're the one who made the metaphor. I don't know why you're mad at me about it. So I'm just going to go through them quick. We'll talk about it a lot in a moment. But we'll start big. Game of the year was Elden Ring. Best game direction was Elden Ring. Best art direction was Elden Ring. Best RPG was Elden Ring. Best action adventure game was God of War Ragnarok. Best narrative was God of War Ragnarok. Best performance was Christopher Judge as Kratos in God of War Ragnarok. Innovation and accessibility was God of War Ragnarok. Best ongoing was Final Fantasy XIV. Best community support was Final Fantasy XIV. Best mobile game was Marvel Snap. That one's for Kyle, the only person I know who plays Marvel Snap currently. Best VR/AR game is Moss Book 2. Best action game was Bayonetta 3. Best fighting game was Multiverses. Best family game was Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Let's go Kirby, get that bag.
Hell yeah.
Best sports racing game was Gran Turismo 7.
No.
Questionable
No.
win. Questionable win.
You could have picked any other game.
Best sim strategy game, Mario & Rabbids Sparks of Hope. That one I also, in my opinion, feel shouldn't have won, but whatever. Best multiplayer, Splatoon 3. Most anticipated game is Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, the new Breath of the Wild
I can
sequel.
definitely see that.
Best adaptation, this is a new category for this year, so this is like best adaptation of like video game stuff in like a show or a movie. So like Sonic Hedgehog 2 was nominated, right, the movie. Best adaptation, Arcane won, which I hear it was really good. I didn't see it, but everybody said it was good.
I've heard murmurs. No one's really been like,
And it was good enough to get a magic.
have to watch.
It's good enough to get a magic secret lair, right? So, player's voice was Genshin Impact. Best independent game was Stray. Best debut indie was Stray, and Games for Impact was As Dusk Falls.
So here's my hot take here on the Game Awards. You know, Elden Ring Game of the Year, I feel it's deserved. That was a deserve in my book.
Yeah, everybody, I don't know. Big God of War advocate. I wanted God of War to win many things. I wanted God of War to win Game of the Year, but I pretty much went in fully well knowing that Elden Ring was going to win. And people are like, well, I don't think Elden Ring's going to win. I'm like, you guys realize Elden Ring came out and nobody shut up about Elden Ring for like 8 months, right?
We didn't shut up about Elden Ring.
Like, everybody talked about Elden Ring for just like half a year straight because that's what everyone was playing. Like, yeah, it's going to win Game of the Year.
But my overall hot take here, you know, it wasn't that, you know, I felt justified in that Elden Ring got Game of the Year. It's the fact that I don't think God of War should have won a single thing. And here's my reasoning before you just go and say whichever you're going to say there.
No, I'm ready. I'm ready to listen before I get angry. So,
my reasoning is that this is called Game of the Year Awards, right? It's the Game Awards for 2022.
sure.
This came out a month before.
God of War?
Yeah, came out a month before this happened. Like, how does that justify every other game that came out like in January, February, or March?
Okay.
A month is not enough time. So either it should get pushed into next year's category, or
So you think games that came out early in the year should have won more?
or
Like
they should.
like Elden Ring?
I'm just saying, Elden Ring had a fight from the beginning to this point,
Right.
whereas God of War had incredible hype and then went into it.
Okay, but hear me out on this. Look at what God of War won. It won Action Adventure Game, which Elden Ring cannot win because it's nominated for Best RPG.
I don't think Elden Ring deserves to win everything. Like, the game has
No, I
flaws
understand.
and
I understand what you're saying, right? Well, all right. So here, let me go find the thing because we can just talk about what games were nominated for these categories.
Best narrative, 100%. It should have been Horizon. Like, that game's crazy.
No comments.
I'm a Horizon fan, though. I'll fanboy for that
I don't know.
franchise.
Horizon got snuffed twice. What happened the first time? It came out and then something else came out and immediately nobody cared about Horizon, and the exact same thing happened with this, where like Forbidden West came out and then like the week after like Elden Ring came out or whatever. It was something like that where it was like, oh, new Horizon game, that's super cool. A week later. Anyways, we're gonna all do something else.
The thing that gets me about Horizon is that they have these huge things when they announce it, right? They had that giant collector set that came out and people were like, holy crap, look at that.
Okay.
And then it just gets snuffed out completely, and I don't understand that.
Best narrative: God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Elden Ring, A Plague Tale Requiem, which didn't win once, which hurts. A Plague Tale got nominated for a lot of stuff and didn't win once, which
Plague
hurts.
Tale would have been a really good.
I think that would have been my probably second choice for narrative. Horizon's cool, but you kind of hit this like Assassin's Creed-esque-ness of it, where it's just like, big world, go do the same thing 500 times. Not that God of War isn't like that. Not that Elden Ring is. Not that most of these games aren't like that. But I think the story gets lost when you have a huge open world where there's a million things to do. Elden Ring has a story. What's the story?
I couldn't tell you.
You sit at a campfire and some lady comes and talks to you, and you're like, "Whoa, she's hot!" Like, there's a story, but it's all like lore stuff that you're gonna find some book in a chest somewhere and read this lore of millennia and whatever, right? So I don't think Elden Ring should have won Best Narrative.
I agree with that.
Horizon, game's too big and open world. You're not gonna remember the story if you're trying to do all 900 things in one.
I remember because I've completely gone through and beaten the first one.
Right.
I still remember that story incredibly well.
Sure.
It's huge. There was a million things to do, go collect and all that. I still remember that story. I don't think just saying because it's huge and open world is like a reason to like cross it off the list.
Yeah, I mean, still can have a strong story. Absolutely. God of War 2018 was like that. But God of War, both of the God of War games, Ragnarok and... So I guess, have you played Forbidden West? I guess we should maybe lead into that a little bit.
I haven't, but I've watched people play it.
Okay. Ragnarok and the original God of War, I have played both. Sure, there's open worldness to it, but it's like you're in the Lake of the Nine. There's a bunch of beaches. Let's say there's 10 beaches in the Lake of the Nine. You can go do the beaches. Each beach has one side mission where a ghost is like, "Oh, go kill these 9 guys who killed me." You're like, sure. You go kill the 9 guys, solve some puzzles, come back. He's like, "Cool, here's some armor materials, bye." And he like fades away into dust.
He dies again.
Yeah, pretty much. His soul passes on. And then Atreus is like,
"We should help the rest of the ghosts."
Kratos is like, "No, I don't want to help ghosts." And you're like, fine. That's it, right? There's 10 extra things to do in the one section of the level, right? That's it. You're going to move to the next place, there's going to be 3 things. You're going to move to the next, you're going to go to a new world. This new world's going to have 15 things for you to go do, right? God of War has noticeably less, like, open world, a billion things to do when we talk about, like, Horizon, right? And because of that, I think that keeps the story on the forefront, right? And then also with God of War, everything you do is tied to the story. So when you're helping these ghosts, right, like, maybe they'll mention it later, right? Atreus is going to be like,
"Remember when we helped those ghosts back in the Lake of the Nine?"
Right? Every time you're doing something, it serves to build the characters up more. You get to see the characters.
The thing is, for
wanna
me
do
overall, is just that how do you say that has the best narrative of the year when it's only been out for a month?
I don't know, man. There's probably a million games that don't get picked, right? This is also a sponsored show. I will say that. It's not like Jeff Keighley's like, "I'm going to pick my favorite game of the year."
Not our show, but the Game Award show.
Yeah, the Game
Just
Awards.
to preface that.
The Game Awards show gets sponsors, right? Like, if he gave Game of the Year to some indie game you never heard of, nobody would fucking watch the Game Awards. That's just how it is, unfortunately. Let's go look at Best Performance. Chris Judge won God of War Ragnarok. This Ragnarok was up twice for this. Chris Judge as Kratos and Sonny Suljic as Atreus. Immortality, which is a game I know nothing about. Man Engage, Charlotte McBurney in Plague Tale Requiem, and Ashley Birch in Horizon. She plays Aloy, right?
No,
Probably.
I wouldn't say that be the best performance. I mean, yeah, Chris Judge, but we can base that off, 2018 God of War. I don't know, it feels weird in my opinion that you gave a game a month and you're like, this has,
If you play the game and beat it in a month, what's the reason not to be like, wow, that was better than a lot of other games I played this year? I don't know. I don't care. I'm just saying, like, you're like, yeah, it came out a month ago. Yeah, people can play and beat it in a month.
Some people can't though.
Yeah. Those people aren't judges for the Game Awards, clearly. I don't know.
But I mean, like,
if you're a judge for the Game Awards, if you're voting for the Game Awards, I'm sure they're like, you gotta beat the game before you fucking do it. Right?
Here's the thing, like, God of War, on average, is like, what? Probably like a 30-hour game. 2018 was like a 30-hour game.
Longer than that. It's longer than the first one. Probably like 40 hours at least.
Okay, we'll bump it up. We'll say it's a 50-hour game. You can definitely do a 50-hour game in a month. Something like Elden Ring, though, which is notoriously just difficult inherently, if it was given a month of the same amount, there's no way people would be able to know.
I still think it would win a lot. I don't think it would win Game of the Year. I still think it would win a lot, though.
I'm also should preface, I'm not a big Elden Ring fan. Like, From Software does amazing things, and I appreciate their work.
Demon Souls, Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Sekiro. I'm missing one, right? Didn't they do another game that wasn't called Dark Souls, but it was Dark Souls?
Bloodborne.
Right? Okay, so that's 6 Souls games.
Technically, there's also Kingsfield 2,
I'm not
Shadow
gonna count.
Tower.
I'm not gonna count those, right? So, in the modern generation of consoles, PS3 up, you've got 6 Souls games. Everybody loves them. Since Dark Souls 1, people are like, "Holy crap, these are amazing!" Right? So, the 7th game comes out. You've got all these fans who are huge fans. Even if it came, dude, Elden Ring could have come in a day before the Game Awards. It probably still would have won like 3 awards, in my opinion, because the hype is there. People are going to play it no matter what. It was going to get voted for. Same with God of War. God of War 1 was good. Dude, when Marvel Spider-Man comes out, you'll see that win a bunch of awards at the Game Awards. Marvel Spider-Man 2. When that comes out, it'll win a bunch of stuff because it has, Spider-Man came out on PS4, whatever, 20 million people played it, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yep, me too. So 20 million people played God of War, 20 million people played Spider-Man, right? People want to see it win because they played it. So, if 20 million people played Spider-Man, they were like, wow, the story in this is really good. Which I think famously Spider-Man did not win very many Game Awards. I think God of War won awards that year, something like that.
I feel like you're telling me we have a God of War problem.
We don't. We don't, honestly. I don't know. God of
Well,
War.
God of War came into it. I came into this being like, it's a hot take. I knew I was going to get pushback.
I'm not angry at your decision to be wrong. No, I'm
not angry at your decision to be wrong.
I don't
stares
care.
angrily.
I don't care. I think God of War deserves the awards that it did win, because also again it did not like, if it won Game of the Year, maybe I'd be like, yeah, I don't think it should have won Game of the Year. I think Elden Ring should have won Game of the Year, but it didn't win Game of the Year. It won Best Story. It won Best Performance. It won Innovation and Inaccessibility. This game is nuts with accessibility. You can change the color of your subtitles. You can change how everything looks to make it easier to see. The amount of accessibility options in Ragnarok are insane. For a first-party game are insane. And then was the other one, Best Action Adventure Game. Yeah, we looked at the other ones on that category, right? Or did we not do that one? Best Action Adventure. Here we go. Best Action Adventure: Plague Tale, Ragnarok, Horizon, Stray, and Tunic. Well, Stray and Tunic weren't going to win. Those are indie
not.
games. Those are indie games going up against AAA titles. Plague Tale probably wasn't going to win. So that puts us with Ragnarok and Horizon again.
I don't know if Horizon's just so much more like an RPG in my eyes than an action adventure. When I think action adventure, I think of like the Tomb Raider games. Those are action adventure in my mind. Uncharted was an action adventure.
I just think, especially if you put it like that, so let's say we took Horizon off the list, God of War wins. It doesn't matter what you fill the 4 slot with. I don't think anything beats God of War just in terms of being an action adventure game for this year. Because there's also, this is funny, there's Best Action Game.
Yeah, I noticed that, and Bayonetta was given that. Bayonetta 3.
Yeah, you want to talk about games that came out with 0 time and won an award? Bayonetta 3 came out like 2 weeks before the Game Awards, and they gave it Best Action Game.
Still feel like it's just like the timing issue that I have a problem with. It's not like the games themselves. Like God of War Ragnarok.
Like, a lot of these guys might have gotten review copies early on, right? Like Jeff Keighley, obviously renowned Canadian games journalist, who's been doing this show for straight up, I think this is his 9th year doing it. Like, we're on a decade of Game Awards this year. Jeff Keighley, I'm sure, has played God of War before you and I, standard plebeians, get access to such a thing, right? I'm sure a bunch of these games he's played well before they come out. Best action game, by the way, Bayonetta 3, Modern Warfare 2 Remake, Neon White, good nomination for an indie game there, Sifu, and TMNT Shredder's Revenge.
Sifu got on there?
Yes, so 2 kind of 3 indie games, right? Because we've got the new Turtles co-op fighting game, Shredder's Revenge. We've got Sifu and Neon White. So we got 3 indie games: Modern Warfare 2 and Bayonetta 3. Gee, I wonder which 2 are gonna win.
Man, it's just it's such in my eyes, these are just such weird picks a lot of the time. They nominate honestly, it feels like they nominate a clear winner, and then ones that they feel deserve to be.
And
in
again,
the
I think we might see some of that as potentially sponsored influence. And I know Jeff is well, we're not specifically sponsored. It's yeah, you're not specifically sponsored.
But who's giving you the checks, Jeff?
Right. People are paying to put this huge performance on. So if Devolver Digital pays 5% of your fee or something like that, maybe you should put that in you should put some Devolver Digital titles in some categories, so even if they don't win, they were
still there. They were
exactly
spoken of.
Yeah, some some dude who watches Game Awards is like, I've never heard that game before. I'm gonna go check it out, right? You know.
One thing that got me was best mobile game Marvel Snap. I mean, it beat out Genshin Impact. It beat out Fate Go. It beat out Arknights. That's kind of crazy. What's the other one? Hoken Impact Third or whatever.
No clue.
I always see like tons of like advertisement and push for those games. See a bunch of people, like the amount of people that play Genshin is insane.
Yeah. I don't know. A lot of people play Marvel Snap though. It is made by the Hearthstone devs, so it's kind of like
I kind of see that then. Hearthstone, super
next Hearthstone,
cemented and everything.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the announcements, kind of the notable things that got announced. No Mortal Kombat. Josh is sad, but that's okay. Ed Boon tweeted that there wasn't going to be an announcement. He's been teasing a lot of stuff. Maybe Injustice 3, maybe the next Mortal Kombat, but I guess we'll see. So notable announcements. I'm going to save the best for last year. So Hades 2, which is exciting. If you played the first indie game that swept up the whole kind of gaming community with amazing voice acting and a great retelling of myths and putting a spin on some historical classics. Hades 2, very excited for more roguelike adventure. I check out the first one. Hades 1 is freaking amazing. You'll lose hours of your life to that game. Hellboy, Web of Weird, new Hellboy game. Last time we got a Hellboy game was
like 2008.
It was on the 360 and the PS3. Yep. And it was like
bad
3D. It looked not good. Yeah, I own it. It's not good. But it looks like the comics. It's like cell shaded. I don't know if Mike Mignola's like on doing the art or doing some kind of art direction, but it looks exactly like the comics. It looks really cool.
I love Hellboy, but every time they try to do like a movie adaptation, a game adaptation, it always just kind of sucks.
The Ron Perlman ones I thought were good, but there are things about him I don't like. They made him too buff.
Yeah.
That's just kind of how Ron Perlman's built in some ways, but I'm like, Hellboy's not like jacked.
Also,
he's like skinny.
Who doesn't love Ron Perlman?
He did great. He did great with the role. Bayonetta Origins. I don't know. It's like before she became Bayonetta, but it's also got this weird like cutesy art style. They went with like a completely different art style.
That's
super weird.
Doesn't have that Dommy Mommy effect.
No, this is like pre her becoming like Bayonetta as we know the character.
I forget what are they called? Are they called witches?
They're called witches, but yeah, it's like they call her by like her real name or something like that. It's like
weird.
Celine and the mysterious forest or whatever, right? Bayonetta Origins. It's cool. I don't know. I probably won't play it. I haven't played any of the Bayonettas. I think I own most of them, but
I own 1 and 2.
It also looks way different. It's like 2D. It's not like a 3D.
Oh, that's weird. Game. I played through most of 1, and I got like halfway through 2. I love the design of Bayonetta. It's always been a big like impact for me.
Gives me kind of some of those games just give me big like God of War vibes, like the old PS2 ones, where it's like I have to save the devils. Now I have to save the angels. Now I have to fight them both or whatever, right? You know, stuff like that. Because the old God of Wars are like, I have to fight for the gods. Now I have to betray the gods. Now I have to fight everyone.
Now I have to kill my dad.
Armored Core 6.
Have you ever played an Armored Core?
No, I haven't.
This, like, the franchise in Japan, huge. Like, it's massive over there. I don't know how it's popular over in the States. I mean, I assume they're good. I own, like, a couple of them.
So Jeff comes out on stage. He goes, I'm beyond excited to announce this next game. He's hyping it hard. He's like, games like this are why I'm excited to host the Game Awards every year. It's stuff like this I get up in the morning for. I'm excited to announce this game at the Game Awards here. You're like, what could it be? This is going to be some huge announcement. Armored Core 6 was the announcement. I was like, Jeff, are you a big Armored Core fan? Or am I missing something, man? He was insane for
all the Japanese viewers like, oh!
Yeah, it was like he was like the most hyped for that announcement out of anything. Okay, I had heard this rumor for the next one. There's going to be a Crash announcement.
Oh.
New Crash announcement. Okay, that's exciting. I mean,
we like Crash. Naughty Dog is awesome.
We got our first good Crash game. You know, whatever last year, the year before, Crash 4, It's About Time. Our first good Crash game in a million trillion years, right? I'm not counting the remake trilogy. New Crash game. So, my excitement levels peak. Crash, the guy in the crash chute, slides down from a rope behind the curtain. I'm excited. Oh, new Crash game, they play the music. Boom, dum, dum, boom, dum, boom, boom, do, 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 boom, dum, dum, boom, dum, boom. I'm excited. And he crashes like, whoa, out of the way, guys. Yeah, trying to make an announcement here. Can I get some water over here, please? Man, I'm thirsty. Oh, geez. He's doing this whole kind of bit where he's rude and loud and typical Crash like the old ads. Now you can imagine my disappointment when they announce a 3v3 capture the point game where you're going to make a team of 3 dudes.
Sad.
And you and your 2 friends who aren't going to play this game, because nobody's going to play this game until it goes free to play on Game Pass or something. You and your buddies are going to capture the Wumpa Fruit, and then the evil team of enemies is going to capture the Wumpa Fruit, and Neo Cortex is going to be like, darn you, Crash Bandicoot, I'm going to capture the Wumpa Fruit. And here's the thing I have to say about Crash Team Rumble. It's going to be really stupid and bad. Until they do the Fortnite collaboration, I can play as Crash Bandicoot and Dr. Neo Cortex in Fortnite, then I'm okay with the collaboration at that point.
Oh my god.
John Wick and Travis Scott and Crash Bandicoot can team up to fight Thanos or whatever. I'm fine with that. But so yeah, Crash Team Rumble, no thanks. Multiplayer only game, whatever. All right, biggest announcement for Josh. I thought it was going to be Hades 2. I thought that was going to be my hill to die on. Or honestly, they announced a new Dead Cells DLC, which is insane. That game's been out for 4 years. New Dead Cells DLC. It's a Castlevania DLC, like branded Castlevania DLC. You're going to fight Dracula. Alucard's going to be there. I'm excited for that. But number one most excited thing, Death Stranding 2. Kojima came out. They showed Norman Reedus in the trailer.
Yeah.
Death Stranding 2.
I also
Holy
love that.
crap, I can't wait.
There was also like rumors that he had overdosed, and he's just like, I'm gonna announce a new game now.
Yeah, you told me that today. I had not
Yeah.
heard that. You told me there was a rumor that he had overdosed and died, which is pretty wild. Death Stranding. I played a bit of the first one. It's fun. You walk around with packages listening to indie music.
I'm sorry, isn't it just FedEx the game?
It's pretty much my dream. Yeah, it's you walk around on like an empty hillside with nobody there, and you listen to Churches, which is like a Irish indie band or whatever. Like they're from the UK.
But instead of you, it's a V in the middle of the name.
Yeah, it's great, man. It's awesome.
How indie is indie? I got a V in the middle of my
It's
name.
so cool. You watch an hour-long cutscene in which Norman Reedus talks to some woman, and you're attempting to like mentally understand what is happening in the game, and then they're like, "Take this box, go take it over there," and you're like, "Okay." And then they play like a Radiohead song, and you're like, "Dude, this rules. Let's freaking go, man. This rules." So Death Stranding 2, it's exciting. I'll be honest, I was surprised there was no more news about Zelda. Or that they didn't even just show the trailer again or something like that.
I mean, that's like the Nintendo way of doing things as well. It's just like, here it is, gone.
I saw a lot of people. I think it was some IGN reviewer said that like the lack of Xbox's presence, or no, maybe it was Sony. I don't know. It was Microsoft or something. They were like the lack of one of the brand's presence was the silence was deafening. I think it was Sony maybe, and then Sony was like, "Yeah, we're gonna announce our own stuff later." Sorry.
I mean,
Sucks to
Sony's
suck.
been going and doing the state of play now for how long?
It's kind of everyone, right? Everyone other than Xbox. Like Xbox is like, we're gonna be at E3, and you're like, cool. And then Sony's like, yeah, we're not gonna be at E3. We're gonna do a state of play. And then Nintendo's like, yeah, we're not gonna be at E3. We're gonna do a Nintendo Direct instead, which makes sense in a lot of ways. Why would you show your stuff off for free at E3 when you can just have your own gated thing where they have to like give you the views and stuff, right? I don't know. Anyways, that was the big announcements I had about Game Awards.
Let's talk about some things that happened while we were away doing our themed months.
Yeah.
The thing that we started on this podcast with, the thing that we've built upon, we're waiting for it to come out. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet dropped
Stranger of Paradise 2.
already.
I wish. No,
Already.
Yeah, Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. It dropped November 18th, and it's been extremely popular. And also,
Have you touched it all? Have you played it all?
No, it's still sealed, waiting
Perfect.
for me to touch it. And I'll explain why later in the episode here, why I haven't popped it out yet.
Sounds like you're putting it off because you don't want to admit you're going to be like, we're going to talk about it later, and then we're not going to talk about it at all because you don't want to talk about it.
It's been met with both popularity and harsh scrutiny.
Some people like it because it's fun new Pokemon game. Some people dislike it because it looks like a PS2 game.
There has been a lot of glitches. There's been some really funny glitches I've seen pop up on like TikTok and stuff.
I was playing with my buddies, and they were like, I think I got to an area I'm not supposed to be in. And they're like level 18, and they're like, yeah, I'm fighting level 40 dudes. I'm definitely not supposed to be here.
There's like characters that just vanish into the void. I was watching Alpharad play through this, and he's like, he's gone to the void. Joey the Anime Man's also been playing it. It's just been funny watching the ridiculousness that can like happen in this game through like basic glitches that just happen. A lot of people are complaining. They're like, Game Freak, you've been around for years. You make tons of money. You basically run Pokemon with Nintendo. What the crap? And like, we shouldn't be giving them a excuse. You know, they should have put out a better product. And I'm like, yeah, Game Freak's had a lot of trouble. Like,
It's fun. I like it. I don't know.
They've been through some stuff, and I kind of get why the game is how it is. But
my one complaint about the game is I need to grind a bunch. Because like, I don't know. If you want to be on level for stuff, you need to kind of go out and grind a bunch more. And I just kind of don't like grinding for hours on end. Like I'm not like, oh man, I'm so excited to go into a fight, use Flame Blast, go to another fight, use Flame Blast, go to another fight, use Flame Blast, and just do that for like an hour and a half. That's not super exciting to me, but I understand that's how kind of the whole damn thing works, right? And they do a decently good job of giving you like experience candies and rare candies to just kind of like, if you want a power level, it is there. But even then, it's like they split the story between 3 main stories. So it's like, if you want to go do the gyms, it's like, all right, level 10 is the first gym. Okay, and the second gym's level 23 or whatever. It just kind of like, I got to gym 5, and gym 5 was like, yeah, you need to be like in the like 40s or 50s. I'm like, bro, I'm not even close. I'm like in level 34, man. I'm not even close. So I got to do a bunch more grinding to keep going.
The big thing that really is pushing this is that this is the first open world Pokemon game.
Yeah, so they say that, right?
But here's my take on that as well, is that this is not the first open world Pokemon game. Literally, Gen 1. You don't have to fight Surge right away. You don't have to fight Erica right away. You can go to, really any of the gym leaders on the mainland besides Blaine, which you have to have Surf, so you have to do certain things to get to that point. But you can move around the region freely, and in my eyes, I would count that as open world.
See, here's my thing. I think it would be cool if they had done like a dynamic leveling. So like, if I went to the snow gym first, the snow gym would be your level 1, like level 10 gym.
Yeah.
Or if I went to the poison gym would be the level 10 gym, right? Whichever one you go to first is going to be the level 10 one. Whichever one you go to second is going to be the level 18 one, whatever, right? I think that would be cool if it had been dynamic, but it's not. It's like set. So it's like, there's an order. Okay, you go to the water gym first, which is level 10, and then the grass gym next, which is level 18, and then the fairy type gym next, which is, whatever, right? And that doesn't change. Like, if I gave you the order and you went to play a brand new game, it would be that order. I think the dynamic, like if it had been dynamic where you could do anything first, that would have been cool.
I mean, that's essentially what happens in Gen 1, like I was talking about, is that, like, you could go fight Sabrina and then go fight Erica, so you could go fight the 7th gym leader, or the 6th gym leader, and then go fight the 4th.
Yep.
And, like, Erica's still gonna be in, like, level 20, and you have to go fight Sabrina, who has, like, level, like, 40, 45,
yep,
whatever her level is. I forget. It's been a while since I've been through the originals, but I feel like they still follow that formula pretty hard. And people might say like, oh, the Switch doesn't, probably doesn't have the capacity to run that. I feel like that's a stretch. It can run Breath of the Wild flawlessly. And man, that game just is like crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. It's fun. The main thing, and again, is just kind of like the grinding. I've always kind of been that way where it's like, new Pokemon game comes out. I'm like, well, I'm going to get it because, I mean, honestly, it's kind of a value pick, right? Like if I buy it now in $25 game or whatever, right?
Yeah, Pokemon has proven nothing more than that their games will increase in value or stay the same.
Stay the same, yep. So it's like when a new Pokemon game comes out, I'm like, yeah, well, I'm going to pick it up, right? But it's just never kind of been my thing. Like, it's fun, but it takes so much of my time, right? I've got so many buddies who've been playing it recently. It's just like, I've been on the Destiny 2 grind right now. That's kind of been my life and probably will continue to be my life for a while. But it's just like Pokemon it just occupies a space where it's like, I could play Pokemon for an hour, but what am I going to do, right? I'm going to grind maybe a couple levels. It just, even if it doesn't, even if it's not going to take that much time, it just feels like it will, which kind of turns me off from playing it.
Let's jump into like what is available in the game, right?
Sure. So yeah, there, like I had mentioned, there's the 3 main kind of story missions. You've got your basic beat the gyms, go to the Elite Four whole thing.
That's the staple of Pokemon games.
Yep.
I feel like
You've got instead of your Team Rocket, it's Team Star this game, which is like
laughable.
well, it's a bunch of kids at the school, and they have a unique gimmick called Star Battles, or I think they're called Star Fortresses, something like that. So you go in. So there's this mechanic called the Let's Go mechanic, where whoever's in front of your party, the first Pokemon in your party, you can send them out to just go auto battle stuff. It makes grinding a little easier. You get less experience for doing it, though. So they take that concept in these Star Fortresses, and I think maybe they're called Star Bases. So the first 3 Pokemon in your party come out, and you get to use them to battle. So you're going to battle all these people. And then once you KO a certain amount of Pokemon, the boss comes out, and then you fight the boss, and they're usually on like a vehicle or something like that. So then you defeat the Pokemon, destroy the vehicle, and they're like, wow, I've been kind of like an asshole. Maybe I should be like nicer to my fellow students.
Sorry,
I was being the worst. And there's this hacker lady who's kind of leading the whole thing there. So you have the gym battles with your rival Nemona. Then you have the star battles, the star bosses, bases, whatever. Team Star stuff with the hacker lady. I think her name's Penny. Maybe I'm making that up. And then you have the Titan Pokemon with, I forget his name, but he's a sandwich boy who's very rude to you. He's got like an attitude. His name's Arvin.
Arvin, yep.
And he's got a big attitude towards you. He's like, we have to defeat these Titan Pokemon, and you're dumb, and I don't like you, and you can have your mythic Pokemon to ride around on like a bicycle. But I gotta go defeat the Pokemon. You know, well, this dude's giving me a bunch of attitude. And then you defeat the Titan Pokemon, who are these big, kind of like raid bosses in some ways. You defeat the Titan Pokemon, and he's like, I'm defeating the Titan Pokemon because my dog is so old and sad, and I don't want him to die.
He breaks out the sob story, man. I've seen it.
He's like, dude, I was like weeping. I finished the Titan storyline first because I was like, I have to fucking save this man's dog. If his dog dies, that's on my hands. I gotta save this dog. And so, yeah, I helped him save his dog, and absolutely it made me cry.
Also, his dog is a Pokemon. It's
his dog is a Pokemon, correct? And he's cute, too. But, yeah, so Arvin's like, please help me save my dog by defeating the Titan Pokemon and getting this Herba Mystica. So, then, hey, that's your main story missions. Well, what about when you beat those story missions? What's the post-game? The professor is, like, not in this game at all. You don't talk to the professor pretty much at all until you get to the post-game. That's where the professor shows up a bunch. So each time you beat one of these story missions, you're going to unlock, like, a party member. So, like, Arvin's like, let's go to the crater of Paldea and meet up with the professor, right? But he's like, oh, we can't go yet. You need to get more allies to help you, right? So we had Nemona with the gym battles, Penny with the star bases, and Arvin with the Titans. Once you beat all those, you get all your buddies, you go down to the Great Crater of Paldea, where there are these Paradox Zone Pokemon. They're like futuristic Pokemon.
Or Scarlet has the prehistoric ones.
Yep. And so, yeah, they have these Paradox Zone Pokemon that are either from the future or the past. Yeah, and then you can catch them, and they're cool. Their shinies look super cool. But yeah, that's kind of your post-game stuff. It's fun. There's a lot to do.
It had a lot of good ideas, I would say.
Yep. The one thing I wish they had was when shiny spawned, I wish there was a noise that played. Which they did, and I think they did that in Sword and Shield.
Yeah, there was
shiny
a
spawn,
huge
there would
thing.
be like a noise that played. But so it's like you can easily shiny hunt, right? But some shinies you would have no clue it's a shiny just by looking at it. So it's like I wish there was a noise that played that was like ding, and you'd be like, oh, shiny, right? That's my one complaint about
that was
stuff.
definitely the biggest complaint I've heard online was that, Game Freak, you've been putting stars in these games for like the last 25 years. It's just a few lines of code. You still got it. Use it.
Yep. Well, anyways, let's talk about another game that came out that highly anticipated. Alex's least favorite game on planet Earth.
God.
He hates this game. It's God of War Ragnarok. So released November 9th.
Only a month before the Game Award.
Released November 9th. The new God of War came out. Continues the story from the PS4 game, follows the Greek god of war Kratos and his son Atreus, who, as we found out in the first game, huge spoiler here, the giants called him Loki. And this game is going to follow the two as they attempt to survive the dreaded Fimbulwinter, which, according to prophecy, is the beginning of the end of the realm. Surtur's going to show up, the fire giant Surtur's going to show up and just annihilate Asgard. Won't be pretty. So I played, I'm maybe, I'd like to say I'm maybe like a third of the way through it right now. I have unfortunately read some major spoilers for the plot, which is really unfortunate for me because I kind of have an idea of how the story is going. But the combat is amazing again, just like the 2018 one. Combos are super easy to land. I'm using maneuvers without even like knowing or thinking that I'm using them. Kratos, you get the Blades of Chaos and the Leviathan. I actually get a third weapon. I haven't gotten it yet, but I do need to get a third weapon later in the game.
Ooh.
That's going to have its whole different deal.
You still got the head?
Yep, Mimir's still there.
Mimir?
He goes, all right, brother, we're going to go to Asgard now. And you're like, no, we can't. That's bad. That's not good.
that bad.
We can't do that. In the first game, the 2018 one, you just play as Kratos. Atreus kind of is your buddy. He helps you. He shoots arrows, all this stuff, right? Well, this game, they switch it up. Much like our podcast has to evolve a little bit. If they just released the same game, it wouldn't have won so many game awards. You do solo play stuff as Atreus. Breaks out and he's like, oh, Dad's being stupid.
Like he tried to do in the first game?
Yeah, there's a lot more of that. He's like, I'm going to follow my path. And he wants to learn about the giant's prophecy, about him being called Loki. And he wants to figure out his whole destiny, right? That's a lot of his thing is like, I want to follow the path that was written for me. And then the path that was written for him is like, yeah, you're going to go hang out with Odin. And also, this is kind of a spoiler. Do you care at all?
No.
Okay. He sees a prophecy, and the prophecy is like, yeah, you will join up with Odin, and your dad will also super die. And Atreus is like, oh, remember how I wanted to follow the path that was laid for me? I no longer wish to follow the path that was laid for me now that I've learned that I'm going to become evil and my dad's going to die. So, yeah, it's very interesting because Kratos is this man who has defied prophecy so much. He doesn't believe in prophecy. He's kind of very much like a pull yourself up by the bootstraps kind of guy. He's like, I'm going to go, if I have to kill the gods, then so be it. I'll kill the gods, right? That's kind of not who he is anymore, right? He's very much like, I just would like to live in a house with my son and not get attacked by godly forces every 5 seconds. So here you have Atreus who's like, it's my destiny, it's my prophecy, I must fulfill it. And then Kratos is like, you don't. Literally, here's the thing though, literally nobody's forcing you to follow the prophecy. It's
you can go against it at any time.
Yeah, it's like you make your own decisions, man. Don't do something just because it says you're going to. That's not how it works, right? It's super fun. I'm enjoying it a lot.
I look forward to playing it at some point.
You get more buddies, not just Atreus. The dwarves, they help you out.
Hell yeah.
Brock throws potions or whatever, and then Sindri has a sack full of items. He just throws stuff at people, which is pretty good.
Very appropriate.
Then I was playing through the game. Okay, so Freya, who was your buddy in the first one, whoops, you murdered her son. That makes her unhappy.
I wonder why.
I wonder why. So she's going to come murder your ass now. So she's kind of an antagonist in the first little bit of the game, and then you have these missions where she's like, although I'm stuck in Midgard, because Odin cast this curse where she can't leave to other realms. You help her kind of escape and go through stuff, and you unlock her as like a friendly unit. They're like, yeah, here's a bunch of skill trees where you can upgrade her skills. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. You just get Freya. That's insane.
Weird.
Yeah. So that's exciting. I like that. I don't know, man. Where I'm at in the game currently, it's like Atreus is like, I have to go to Asgard because I need to follow my prophecy. And you're like, but you just saw that if you follow the prophecy, your dad's going to die. But he's like, but if I keep following the prophecy just a little bit, then maybe once I get further into the prophecy, then I can undo the... I'm like, brother.
Oh my God.
Brother. He goes to Asgard and is chilling with Odin. I'm like, bro, what is your deal right now? You're literally talking with the number one bad guy on the list right now. Like, hello?
Just sharing some beers.
Yeah, it's very interesting though. I've been playing on the hardest difficulty and I get smoked. There's been battle arenas I've died 20 times on, but man, it is so much fun. Yeah, it's very exciting. I'm excited to keep playing it when I have time, but I'm too busy playing Destiny 2 baking cookies right now in the Easy Bake Oven. So
heck yeah.
All right, let's do some quickie news.
Quickie news. Let's start off with some basic stuff, and we'll go into the more deeper stuff. Hey, there's a new Dragon Age animation that just dropped on Netflix.
Yay!
I love Dragon Age. Big fan of the first one. Not so big of a fan of the second
You
one.
like
And Inquisition was okay.
You like romancing all those hot elves.
Heck yeah. And then Guerrilla Games is working on a Horizon multiplayer game.
They're also doing a Horizon VR game, Call of the Mountain.
Yep. We got Marvel Spider-Man 2 launches fall 2023.
Oh man, I can't freaking wait. Tony Todd's gonna be Venom. Gosh, I'm so freaking excited. I can't wait.
I
That'll be a
was
day
super
one
impressed
pickup
with
for
the first one.
Yep.
I'm with you on this. Super hyped.
Yep.
Then, out of like nowhere, there's a guy in the UK who went to a flea market and stumbled upon the lost media of Michael Jackson in an arcade format for the AS1 arcade.
So you say Michael Jackson? Oh my gosh. No, you're good. Go on.
But he stumbled upon the lost media tape of Michael Jackson doing this. I don't know how to describe them. They're the like capsule vehicles you get in that makes you feel like you're like falling or flying and stuff. But it was called an AS1 flight simulator, I guess would be the best way of describing it. And it was produced by Sega, and Michael Jackson starred in it. Now, the thing is that this had been kind of just lost to time. They found there's like these hard rips that people like recorded with like video cameras in like the 90s because it came out in 93, but like there was no recoverable media up until now. So I'll link the video of the full thing because it's been ripped to HD on YouTube. So it was wild. We watched it.
It's a good video. It's a good video. I'll be honest, Mike is not very enthused.
But he is disappointed when you mess
He's
up.
like, pull up. You're like, Mike, we're gonna die, man. We're on this spaceship. He's like, the video we watched, so it's like failures, because it's like, I assume there's like an element, like you're playing it, right? You're like shooting missiles or something.
There's
like
probably
that.
a video game element to it.
But so this is not present in the video. So there's just like, Mike's like, I've activated the missiles. Fire. Dang, we'll get them next time, because there's like you're not firing, like the video game component is not present in this video. But it is very funny, these long pauses. But it is
It was fun to watch.
it's fun. There's like, you crash land 2 separate times, and you crash land, and Michael Jackson's like, wow, that was really close. You did not earn your space pilot's license. You blew it, man. You're done.
Better luck next time.
Exactly.
And then it's just like big noises like produced by
Yeah,
Sega.
It was like some fan. Bow, 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 bow. And there's like, produced by Sega. The credits start rolling. Starring Michael Jackson. Like, it is insane.
It's hilarious. And then Fortnite is under a lawsuit.
We like Fortnite. We like Fortnite.
I don't know a ton of it, but
It's another dance they probably
No,
stole.
no. This is wild. Fortnite is under a lawsuit from a California mom, if I remember correctly, where she is suing Epic Games, who made Fortnite,
Yep.
for making it too addictive. She claims that her kids, since downloading the game, had less social interaction, loss of sleep. It's impacting their lives. And she's trying to sue them, being like, you need to make the game less addictive. There was like, I saw a thing, like there was one teen who, since it came out, has played 7,700 matches, which is just an insane amount. And like, there's like more parents that are trying to get in and make it like a class action lawsuit. It's a big deal. I'm sure you can find tons of information on it.
How do you quantify that, right? Like, your game's too addictive.
Yeah, well,
It's not like gambling, right? Where it's like, just straight up, you can have, I mean, like, yes, you can have addiction to Fortnite, but also it's like, they're your kids. Just turn the Xbox off.
yeah. Well, that's been the big takeaway. Is like, you are the parent.
Right.
Do something.
Yeah, why is it Epic Games' fault? Epic Games isn't going to parent your kids.
But
you
like,
need to be the one
also,
who parents your kids.
I want to preface, parenting is hard. Not everyone's good at it. I've seen a lot of, like, I got friends that have kids,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, I don't think
wouldn't-
you should do that.
I wouldn't have done it that way, but I guess.
But it's like, that's also your kid. You know, we can't tell people how to parent. I mean, we can, but like, it's up to them
I
to
am
take
right
that.
now. Turn their Xbox off.
But that's like been the big argument. Epic Games came forward and said, well, we plan to
Turn
take
your
this.
kid's Xbox off.
We plan to take this to the courts and just have it dismissed because it has no base.
Yeah, there's no basis, right?
And that was kind of their big argument, was that they would
It's like
just get it dismissed.
Well, here's what you look at, right? Okay, so this is somewhat related and kind of topical news. Overwatch 2. They got sued or whatever about loot boxes. It was like loot boxes got banned in the EU because they were like, this is too predatory.
It's gambling.
Yeah, children play this game, right? So they took away loot boxes. They said, fine, you want to earn skins? You can earn skins with in-game currency. The in-game currency takes so long to buy, people are instead just paying money for the skins. So they are making more money just selling skins than by having the loot boxes, because it's kind of like Gran Turismo was like this, right? Where it's like Gran Turismo 7 comes out. Let's say it costs 500,000 money to buy this really good car. Well, now it's like 2 million money to buy this new car or whatever, right? So they, it's kind of like a kid throwing a fit, right? Where it's like, okay, well, I can't have loot boxes, fine. I'll just make it like impossible to obtain all the skins you want to obtain easily, so that way you're forced to buy the skins you want to buy.
Also, personal opinion, microtransactions, bad. We really need to find a middle ground for everyone.
What about
that.
microtransactions for cosmetics? Because that's where a lot of people draw the line. Because it's like, if now microtransactions suck if I can just put $20 in the game and be better than you at it. If you played for 50 hours and I put $20 in, I'm just better
pay to win is the problem. I feel
that sucks. But if I paid $20 to like dress my character up like
Santa,
Travis Scott, I think that's kind of who cares, right?
Yeah.
I put money in for
Like
cosmetics.
I said, we just
right?
need to find a middle ground. That's a whole nother discussion for another time, though.
So to that end, what I'm saying is like Fortnite could take out 1 million quests and make it, quote, less addictive in the way of like removing quests and that serotonin boost you get when you complete a quest and stuff like that. But if they're removing content from their games, people are going to stop playing, right? Like, if I take out all these quests and make the game less fun and less addictive, less people are going to play, right? Like,
yeah, I don't think this lawsuit would go anywhere, but if it does, if let's say the courts are like, nah, Epic Games, you have to take this. This will be a case that will be looked at for like generations going forward. I just watched.
Your game is too fun. The courts have ruled.
I watched a documentary series on Netflix called Pepsi Where's My Jet.
Was that good? I want to see it so bad.
It was great.
Okay, I want to see it so bad.
Oh my god, I loved it. But like the whole thing was that
don't make promises you can't keep.
Yeah, don't make promises you can't keep. And then like they had one judge that was just like, I rule in favor of this. And it's become a landmark case that they teach in law school now.
So reference, we're not going to get into it all the way, but essentially the ad was like, if you get 5 million Pepsi points, you can...
7 million was what it was.
Yeah, so if you get 7 million Pepsi points, you can get a Harrier jet. And so this guy got a bunch of investors to back him to essentially buy enough shipments of Pepsi to get enough points to buy the jet, right? And then when he got enough points, he was like, yeah, I'd like to get the jet. Pepsi's like, there was no jet, right? It was just a commercial.
A Harrier jet's like $32 million.
Right. They're like, it was just a commercial.
It was a joke.
Yeah, that wasn't part of the actual promotion. But at no point in the ad did it say, like, you cannot actually get a Harrier jet, right? There was no fine print. And
it didn't go, JK, just a joke.
Right, yes. Yeah, it was clearly, it definitely did not feel like a joke. If you watch it, it doesn't feel like a joke. So yeah, it's become this landmark case because they did not clarify and specify, like, hey, you can't actually get a Harrier jet.
Yeah, here's a small promotion. If you have Netflix, go watch it. It's totally fun.
They redid the ad and made it like 70 million.
They redid it like 3 times.
Yeah, they kept pushing the goalposts back to like be like, no, you have to buy more points. Right? Silly.
Yeah, it was just crazy. But like, if this lawsuit becomes real, it's going to be one of those things that is going to be like, okay, well, Fortnite's too addictive. What's that? Roblox is going to be on the chopping block next.
Minecraft's too addictive.
Genshin Impact will be on the next
Video
one.
games are too addictive. We ban video games.
I mean, it's
1984, the thought police are coming. You can't play video games
Big
anymore.
Brother is here.
Who was the old guy who was always like, violence in video games is leading to more school shootings?
Yeah,
right?
Whoever, he always says like Grand Theft Auto is like gonna be the ruination of society. I forget who he was a big deal in like Australia because I think he's from there and he's put pushes that on like the Parliament a lot. And then all right. Finally, moving away from the lawsuit. Please go check that out. It's crazy. It's just dumb how much like they're like pushing for this. The biggest news of Quickie News, in my opinion, and I'm distraught by having to put this out in the world and letting more people know. Ash Ketchum, our Pokemon master, trainer who is out to be a Pokemon master.
Well, he just became world champion, right?
Yeah, he just became world champ. 25 years in the making. You know, people are still talking about that, but it's been eclipsed by new news for Ash Ketchum. And that is that he will no longer be the protagonist of Pokemon. So that means no more Pikachu, no more Ash. I don't know how to feel about it. Like, I'm so, like, just struck by, like, grief and sadness that, like, we're essentially watching one of the longest running characters I can think of in, like, modern gaming that's had, like, as big of a reach umbrella effect as Pokemon has, just like vanish off the face of the platform.
It's pretty insane that they're just going to be like, yeah, it's a different guy now.
So April 2023, the final episode of Ash will air in Japan. I'm not sure about American airings yet, but it's going to be called The Distant Blue Sky.
I don't know. I think they're like, yeah, no more Ash. He's still going to be around, right? There's no quit him cold turkey.
I mean, same thing with Pikachu. Pikachu's been the poster child of Pokemon for almost 30 years now.
Yeah.
I don't know how you're going to get rid of these two. I mean, the staple. I mean, that's like saying Red and Blue didn't exist. Like, the characters, right?
Yeah.
Like, how? Or Brandon and May were not part of the Pokemon series.
Yeah.
I mean, these are just such huge staples in everything. But the final episode's going to see a ton of cameos. People are expecting like all the Pokemon he released through the years to come and see him.
Sure they're all going to come back. Right?
There's been some spoilers out. There's some footage that's released in the trailer.
Goku's going to be there.
Luffy's going to show up.
Luffy's going to be there. Naruto's going to be there.
But like, you know, we're going to see Brock and Misty come back. Team Rocket's going to be there, like Jesse and James. It'd be really cool if we saw like some like lesser remembered characters, I would say, like Butch and Cassidy.
That'd be cool.
Also Team Rocket people, but like they made a huge impact in the Indigo League. Oh, who's the kid that went to the Orange Islands?
No clue.
It starts with a T. His name Trent. No, it's not Trent. I forget his name, but like I'm sure he'll like come back. It's supposed to be like everyone that's been in Pokemon really that Ash has like interacted with and met.
Yeah.
Probably not the gym leaders. I don't think they'll go that far, but like all like his companions through the years, right?
Yep.
So I don't know. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna cry. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna cry.
I'm sure it's gonna be really sad.
I remember going and seeing Pokemon the first movie and Ash like basically dying in that. And as a kid, I cried, and I rewatched it as an adult, and I cried again.
Yeah.
Like, it's huge in my eyes that they're just gonna do this. So I am anxious and not anxious to see what happens.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun. Well, let's we've been talking about all this stuff. Let's talk about what Alex is up to.
Alex been under a rock.
Yeah,
Alex hasn't peeked out in a while.
Alex and Josh have been working.
So all these great games are coming out. Everyone's like, hey, go play these amazing games here and there. Oh my gosh, you know, look at all these reviews. Oh my gosh, look at that. Alex has been up to not anything to do with that.
Feel that.
I've been playing Kingdom Hearts 1.
Okay.
Doing my very first ever playthrough of that. You know, only 20 years shy.
Yeah.
When it originally came out. I have gone through the first part. I would say probably I don't know, the first quarter of the game.
Sure.
Went into the first warp area. I've been having a lot of fun. Kingdom Hearts turns out good game.
Yeah,
right. It's kind of crazy. Did you know that there's more Kingdom Hearts games out there?
Banging soundtrack, absolutely.
Oh my gosh, yes, the opening theme. Oh, to die for.
Yeah. is dearly beloved, right? The piano track in the beginning
Yeah.
is amazing. Obviously, simple and clean.
Simple and clean.
We could go on and on about the music in that freaking game.
I haven't just been playing Kingdom Hearts. I've also been playing Pokemon Crystal. Busted out my childhood copy.
A little behind on the.
I want to preface, this is not my first time playing through Crystal. This is just a new run that I wanted to do to relive that nostalgia. Personally, I think, early Pokemon games do it better than the newer ones. They were more of an RPG back then.
It's valid.
Less story driven, more of an RPG, and like just getting through levels and being like the best in the game, right? Having tons of fun reliving all that. I got Feraligatr as my starter.
Nice.
Every time I play Gen 2, it's Feraligatr.
Nice.
Got a Crobat.
Oh, yummy.
Got a Quagsire.
Okay.
I have a Miltank.
Okay.
I'm gonna get some beefy Miltank action going in. My team is 100% not optimized as like the best things you get, but I'm having fun. I already got 7 gym badges. I'm almost done.
There you go.
You gotta get the 8th, beat the Elite Four, and then beat the Kanto, which Kanto is like super easy once you get through the first part of the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I haven't picked up anything that's been newer than 2002. I think it's the newest thing I've picked up.
Yeah, I've been playing God of War, and Destiny 2 has been kind of my grind. So.
And then I did something that I've been working on for a while. I region unlocked my Sega Saturn. I've been playing some Japanese Saturn games.
Yummy.
Man, the 90s, what a time. I literally have to like sit, because like the one major one I have is called With You.
Okay.
And it's a Japanese visual novel.
Sure.
So I'm playing through it, and I take out my Google Glass and I hold it up to be like, translate.
That's fine.
And then like it'll translate. I'm like, okay, I picked that, and then I had to reset it, and I pick it up again. I'm like, translate. I just keep doing that to get through it. But yeah, no, it's Alex has been under a rock, and I think I'll continue to be under my nice cozy rock for a little bit longer.
I feel that.
But eventually, I'll crawl out and start going haywire on everything else.
Finally play some things that need to get played and what have you.
Yeah, crack the seal on some of these games I got. Josh can attest to my incredible backlog that just is forever going to be untouched if I don't do something about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of the same way. There's definitely, I'm like, I need to keep playing through Ragnarok, and then I'm like, but what if I didn't?
What if I easy bake oven my way a bit more?
What if I masterwork my easy bake oven to make more cookies in Destiny 2?
But we have been doing a lot.
Yeah.
Besides that, we're getting ready for season 2 now. This is the start.
We got some fun episodes coming. I think you guys are gonna enjoy.
We're gonna be upgrading our equipment here. We're going to be hopefully having more guests on this year. It's gonna be a goal for us.
We're hoping for that. Yeah.
Some people that you have heard on the podcast, some people that are new.
Yeah, people you've seen, people you haven't seen.
We got some fun segments that we want to try out.
Yeah.
We are going to be talking about a little bit more about ourselves as well, I think. So please stick with us as we're
figuring it out.
We're putting out the feelers. We're definitely putting out the feelers on this.
But I think that's going to be it for the news episode today. Thank you so much for listening. Please tell your friends, like, subscribe, share this around, especially as we get started on season 2. Like Alex said, a bunch of exciting, fun stuff to come. And we hope you stay with us through it all. But yeah, that's going to be it for the Quick Save Podcast. I'm John.
I'm Alex.
And good night.
Good night.
Coffee, chicken, Cheetos.
Hey, yo, I went to the coffee shop down there. Guess what they had? The coffee. They had coffee, chicken, Cheetos.
and Cheetos. What do you have to offer us today?
Coffee, chicken, Cheetos.
Cheetos, alien slime, drink it all the time.
We'll find more relevant things to talk about after this.
The coffee, chicken, Cheetos.
Bye-bye.